revered elders, respected devotees, and dear friends, Namaskar. Today, I thought I will discuss on attaining spiritual satisfaction as a Grihastha. That is what Mother wanted us to do. Being Grihasthas, how we could follow the spiritual path. Today, it is my privilege to speak about the life-giving teachings of Sri Sharada Devi, our Holy Mother, an embodiment of purity, compassion and serene strength. Though she lived in the quiet village of Jairam Bati, her words continue to guide countless seekers across the world, especially those who walk the spiritual path without fulfilling the responsibilities, while fulfilling the responsibilities of family life. Her life itself is a teaching. Sri Sharada Devi never delivered elaborate discourses, yet her life was a luminous example. She shouldered the duties of a daughter, a wife, a mother to an entire monastic order and thousands of devotees. She cooked, she cleaned, she nursed the sick, she consoled the troubled hearts, and still she remained immersed in a calm inner awareness. Through this, she demonstrated that one need not renounce home and society to reach spiritual fulfillment. Holy Mother would often say, "Where is the time? Where is the time for me to think of myself? I exist only for others." And yet, she was always established in the highest spiritual consciousness, showing us that service done with love is itself a direct path to God. Spirituality and simplicity. That was her second lesson to us. Her spirituality was never complicated. It was woven into our daily life. In the way she plucked vegetables, fed the poor, soothed the distressed, or welcomed a stranger into her hut, she showed us that God can be realized not only in temples and meditation rooms, but in the kitchen, in the courtyard, in the midst of household responsibilities. She taught, always do your duties without hesitation. Whenever you are free, remember God. This simple instruction becomes a powerful spiritual discipline. Work with sincerity, and in the pauses between your work, turn the mind lovingly towards the divine. This I found very useful in my own profession. As and when I was seeing patients, I used to put my attention to the patient, focus on the patient only, but as soon as the patient was over, before the next patient could come, in between you can do 2 to 3 minutes of jabam in your own mind, in your subconscious mind. That helps a lot to remain focused. You remain focused on one patient and then you cut off all the thoughts about that patient and then you go on to the next patient. Without thinking of the previous patient, you focus completely on the next patient. So that has helped me a great deal. Acceptance and inner peace. One of her profound teachings is acceptance, not resignation, but a wise and compassionate understanding of life. When devotees expressed frustration with their difficulties, she would gently reassure them, "My child, everything will happen in time. Try to be calm, do not be anxious. Her words were like soothing water on the burning mind. She taught that mental agitation is the greatest obstacle to the spiritual growth, and peace begins the moment we learn to surrender our burdens to the Divine Mother. So, when we are seeing a patient with acute cardiac failure, we don't think about another patient having a stroke, or somebody who is bleeding through the nose, or somebody who had a head injury and became brain dead. We have to focus only on that person. Even in our household responsibilities, when we are cooking a dal, we focus only on the dal, not on other things. That's how we have to train our mind. Slowly, 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 keep on doing the japam. In between, whatever you do, in between, in the pauses, we do the japam. And that helps us a lot in remaining focused on what we are doing. The next point is purity and restraint in daily life. For householders, she emphasized purity, not just outer cleanliness, but purity of thought, intuition, and conduct. She said, "You want peace. Do not look for fault of others. Look at your own shortcomings first." In a world full of comparison and criticism, this advice becomes a practical way to preserve harmony at home and cultivate spiritual maturity. Love as the highest path. Love was her greatest message. She taught that love must be unconditional, free of ego, free of judgment. To her, everyone was her own child, whether they were saints, sinners, scholars, or illiterate villagers. Her famous words echo through the generations. If you want peace of mind, do not hurt others. Try to help everyone. This alone, she said, is enough to attain God. Spiritual practice for the Grihastha. Sri Sharada Devi did not demand difficult austerities from householders. Instead, she offered a balanced path. Perform your duties sincerely. Practice japa whenever you are free. Offer every action to God. Maintain purity and compassion. Keep good company. See every being as a manifestation of the divine. Her guidance was always gentle and deeply transformative. That is the most important thing. Simple and transformative. All her teachings were simple and transformative. Her message of universal motherhood. Holy Mother's final message remains of the most profound teachings for all seekers. If you want my blessings, then never forget that you are all my children. In those words, she dissolved all distinction of caste, creed, gender, wealth, and status. She assured humanity that divine love is never far away. It exists within the tenderness of a mother's heart. How her teachings guide us today. In our modern world full of stress, demands, and constant noise, Sharada Devi's message is more relevant than ever. She teaches that spiritual satisfaction does not come from escaping our responsibilities, but from embracing them with love, purity, and calmness. Accept, accept, accept. When we cook for our family with care, when we forgive someone's mistake, when we speak gently instead of harshly, when we kneel before the divine for a moment before sleep, these become sacred acts. Everyday life becomes worship. Sri Sharada Devi transformed the idea of spirituality. She showed us that God realization is not reserved for monks or scholars. It is the birthright of every sincere soul, even while living as a grihastha. Her life whispers to us, be simple, be loving, be pure, be patient, remember God and serve all as your own. If you can live even a small portion of her teachings, our homes will become temples and our hearts will become peaceful sanctuaries of divine grace. Thank you. Pranams to all.